Welcome back to Learn SKN, and today we have another video for you, another oldie but goodie, a nice throwback principle of business paper 1 all the way from June 2008 all the way back to 08, June 2008, principles of business. So let's just jump right into it. And question 1 asks us which of the following is not a function of money, and the answer here is A, indivisibility. Storage of value is a function of money. Medium of exchange is a function of money, and a measure of value is a function of money. The fact is, indivisibility is neither a function nor a characteristic. If you're looking at characteristic, it would have been divisibility, which means money can be divided into smaller pieces. But indivisibility, that's not really a function of money. Number 2, in a competitive market situation, which of the following is least likely to influence consumer demand? Okay, so I went with B, which is price. But the reality is some others can influence consumer demand. Of course, consumer income will influence their demand. Brand loyalty, taste. Now, some people might go with brand loyalty for the mere fact that most competitive markets have homogeneous products, meaning that the products are virtually the same. But like, for example, agricultural products. But from my point of view, people can still have some sort of brand loyalty towards their favorite farmer, their favorite mom and pop shop that sell the same potato or the same dasheen, the same yam, the same milk. So they might prefer to go to one shop over another based on the person. But as it relates to price now, all firms in the competitive market are what you call price takers. All of them have the same price, the market price. So whether you go to farmer A, B, C, or D, the price is going to be the same for whatever product you're going to be purchasing, whether it is the potato or the dasheen or the yam or the cassava, whatever. So the best answer for me would be B, the price, because the price is the same throughout, no matter where you go, shop A, shop B, or shop C. Number 3, subsidized meals for employees would fall under which of the following categories? And so the answer here is, of course, fringe benefits. Those are the things you get in addition to your salary and your wage and stuff like that. The extra stuff, the extra perks you get for being in that, for working for that business. So yeah, that's the answer for that one. Number 4, private enterprise is run mainly to, and of course you know the answer to this one. All private businesses have one aim, one goal in mind, and that is simply to make a profit or to maximize their profit. That's the main aim, to make and maximize their profit. So the answer is D, create profit for its owners. Number 5, which of the following are functions of a business unit? And so you have some options here: production of goods and services, creation of jobs, maximization of sales, and education of workers. Now the question asks the following are functions, and so the best answer here, I would say, would have been all of the above, but there are no options for all of the above. So the next best thing would be, of course, one that doesn't include 4, which is education of workers, because it must include 1, because businesses actually have a production unit, they produce a good or service. The business also create jobs, that's a function of business. And then they maximize sales. That's the main thing, maximize the sales to maximize the profit. And so the best answer here would be A, 1, 2, and 3. Education of workers would normally be the job of course, the school system, things like that. But in some jobs, some businesses, they have actually training for workers and stuff like that. So that's why I said the best answer for me would have been all of the above. But since there's no all of the above, and it must include 1, which you see this one doesn't have in 1, so that's out. This one has in 1, but it's missing 2, and then so that's kind of out. This one is missing 3, which is maximization of sales. You need that. So the best answer would be A, 1, 2, and 3. Number 6, which of the following is least likely to result from growth in an organization? And of course, the best answer here, out of the options, would be increased communication, because as we know that as businesses grow, you have more and more layers of management, more and more workers, so communication becomes somewhat difficult, and so you don't expect it to increase, you expect it to decrease. Number 7, which of the following characteristics of the sole trader form of business enterprise is not advantageous to the owner? So I'm looking at what's a disadvantage to the owner of a sole trader or sole proprietorship. And so, of course, the best answer here would be B, unlimited liability. Why is that so? Because unlimited liability means that the owner is on the hook to lose more than they actually invested in the business. They can lose anything that the bank or whoever the lending institution seems fit to get back their money. So if you went and you started business and it didn't succeed, it kind of failed, and you owe the bank, they might want you to use your house, your car, your land, whatever, to get back their money. So that's why it's a disadvantage. Now, had it been a company, then you would have had limited liability, meaning you're only going to lose exactly what you invested, nothing more. You lose what you invested. You invested 10,000, you lose the 10,000. But for unlimited, you can lose beyond what you invested in that company. All right, number 8. The main purpose of installing a suggestion box in a company is to get workers' view about, and of course the best answer here is C, ways of improving the workplace. That's the main reason for a suggestion box. You get ideas of how to improve the workplace, for your betterment of your workplace. Number 9, in a public limited company, the losses are borne by and so the answer here is D, the shareholders. The shareholders are the ones, like I said before, that are going to lose what they invested. So if you bought $10,000 worth of shares and the shares plummet to zero in value, you would have lost $10,000. So that's what the losses are borne by the shareholders. They are part owners. As I say, shareholders, they are part ownership of the company. Number 10, which of the following is most likely to occur when a member of a partnership dies? And so the best answer here is B. A new partner is brought in. Now this is just simply comparing, a partnership to something like a sole trader. We are in a sole trader. If the owner dies, then that's basically the end of that company as it existed before. That's it, done. Even if somebody reopens it under a new name, that's not the company from before. It's a new one. Now partnership, on the other hand, if one partner dies, then you can, maybe somebody can sell the shares to sell the ownership, the stake to somebody else. Or you might go and ask somebody else to reinvest in the company, so you still have a new partner would be brought in to continue the company. Now the rest options are really not options at all. The government takes over the business. That's not going to happen. A business becomes a joint stock company. That's not going to happen. It's a little far-fetched. A business is closed down. That's more for the sole trader. You die, the business basically closed down. Number 11, in a firm with a departmentalized structure, which department performs the 4 duties listed below? And so we have some options here. So we have 1, receiving the goods purchased. 2, reporting on the quality of goods received. 3, applying the principles of costing goods. And 4, keeping inventory. And so the best answer would be B, purchasing. So the purchasing department would do all of this. They would receive the goods that they purchase, of course. They would look at the goods and take an inventory, make sure what they said the purchase they got. So if you purchase 10 cases, you make sure you got the 10, you count them up 1 to 10. You will also make sure the quality is what they said it would be, those who you purchase it from. And of course, applying the principle of costing, because they wouldn't know how much they bought it for. So of course, it would be best to apply the cost to the company. All right, so if you look at marketing doesn't really deal with purchasing of the goods or inventory or those kind of things. That's not really marketing deal with. Marketing deal with basically getting the goods from the systematic way of getting the goods sold to the final customer. All right, stock control, just basically look at the inventory and then make sure that the inventory is either up to scratch or need to be replenished or whatever. So they just control the inventory basically. Finance would be the ones look at the costing, but that's about it. They're not really in charge of receiving the goods or reporting the quality. So the best answer is B, purchasing. Number 12, profit may not be the main objective of a business, which is B, increasing the salaries of its directors. Now, if you're increasing the salary of the directors, it can be out for profit because that's going to eat into whatever profit you might have made. Finding a cheaper raw material, of course, that can lead to increased profits, because you find a cheaper raw material, then you can use that and still charge the same price, but the cost of production would have gone down, so you're going to make a little extra in profit. Increasing the price of goods and services, of course, increase the price, you expect to make more money. And then expanding factory space to increase production, like let's say right there, increasing production. So maybe for now, you would not get the profit, but later on you're going to reap the rewards from the investment. Number 13, an entrepreneur may reduce his risk of loss by A, of course, planning ahead. Number 14, cash used to secure a loan at the bank is referred to as, and the answer here is A, collateral. You have B, fixed assets, current assets, fixed deposits. Now, most of these can be used as collateral. Fixed assets can be used as collateral. Fixed deposit can be used as collateral. So all of them still comes under collateral or securities or whatever. So the best answer here would be A, the collateral. Number 15, the condensation of a business plan into the condensation of the business plan is contained in the D, executive summary. That contains everything the plan contains is in the executive summary in a shorter, more compact, concise manner. Number 16, which of the following is not a feature of a business plan? And so the answer here is A, demonstrates clear, compelling vision. Now, normally, if you look at the business plan, if you do your SBA, you know what the business plan is all about. And you know, in the SBA, you would have had to do projections, you know, your sales projections, maybe 2 years, long-term, short-term, mid-term. You would have to do that in your business plan. You have to give information about the target market, of course. You have to know who you're targeting to see if it's going to be viable. And then D, outline financial institutions from which businesses may get funding. You have to outline, okay, I might go to this bank to get 10%, you know, so you have an idea of what it would cost you to actually start the business running. But you don't really put in much in the way of your mission statement, the vision statement and stuff like that. That comes in later on in other documentations. Number 17, which of the following describes an essential feature of a valid contract? And so a contract is only a contract if you have offer and acceptance. So it would be D, the offer has been accepted by the offeree either in writing or orally. So that's when a contract is made, when there is acceptance of an offer. Anything other than that, that's not a contract. Number 18, which of the following are functions of management? And so you have some options here. 1, coordinating the work of the employees. 2, delegating work to subordinates. 3, controlling employees and raw materials. And 4, ensuring that employees join a trade union. And so, the answer would be everything that doesn't contain, that contains 1, 2, and 3, but not 4. And so the answer is C. Alright, so the answer is C for that one. Number 19. Which of the following factors prevents an agreement from being considered a valid contract? And of course, the best answer is B, misrepresentation. If you misrepresent, then it would not be considered a valid contract. Number 20, which of the following situations could occur if a contract for sale of goods become void? And so you have some options here. The prospective buyer becomes the owner. 2, the seller has the right to keep any money or goods which have been given to him in the transaction. Number 3, prospective buyer does not become the owner. And 4, the seller must return any money or goods given to him by the prospective buyer for the transaction. And of course, the best answer is C, which contains 2 and 3 and 4, which is nobody can benefit when it becomes void. Nobody benefits. So the prospective buyer does not become the owner, and the seller must return the money or goods given to him by the prospective buyer. So nobody really benefits. Everything go back to now neutral. 21. The money used for day-to-day operations of a business is called D, working capital. 22. The factor of production which earns interest is C, capital. Entrepreneurship earns profit. Labor earns wage or salary. And of course, land earns rent. Number 23, which of the following is a fixed asset? The best answer here is D, motor lorry for delivery of goods. Remember, fixed assets are things like machinery, the building, and things like that that don't change during the course of production. And so the best answer here is D, because this is the only one that shows that the lorry fixed asset is being used in actual production, delivery of the goods. 24. The term human resource refers to, and the best answer here is C, persons available for productive and professional services. 25. The movement of educated persons to settle in other industrialized countries is called B, brain drain. Brain drain. That's where you move skilled workers and laborers and professionals from one country to when they move from one country to the next. Migration would mean any. They don't have to be skilled, could be unskilled too. But when you specify skilled and professional, educated, that's the brain drain. 26. Which of the following is best example of capital as a factor of production? And of course, the best answer here is machinery. The best answer is machinery. And some people might say money, because money is an example of capital, but money is used to purchase the same machinery that I use in production. So the best answer is the machinery. They are the ones that actually grind and get production done. The money facilitates the purchasing of the machinery. Number 27. To which of the following industries does a firm involved in food processing belong? And so the best answer is, of course, the manufacturing. Remember, the secondary industry contains both construction and manufacturing. And since you cannot really construct food, the best answer would be manufacturing. Extractive would be the primary production, and service would be tertiary. 28. Which of the following can be described as a marketing activity? And so the best answer here is B, distributing commodities to outlets. 29. All persons can be called consumers because they, of course, A, use goods. Once you use something, you're considered a consumer. You can consume food, you can consume television, you can consume clothing because you're using them. 30. Which of the following best describes the term loss leaders? And so a loss leader is B, a product which is sold cheaply to attract customers. So you sell it cheaply to attract customers. And this happens all the time in many businesses where you go to a supermarket and you see some cheap products up front to attract customers to buy the more expensive products within. 31. Which of the following activities carried out in a firm is not under the supervision of the marketing manager? And of course, it's purchasing. 32. Which of the following is least likely to be described as a good public relation for company? And so the best answer here is C, reduction in price to retailers. Because the reality is this doesn't really affect the general public like directly. But if you offer scholarships, you look good in the public's eye. You're helping the youths. You sponsor a steel band, helping the community directly. Hosting of annual sport events, again, you're helping the youths, you're helping the community, you're helping the community to grow. But this one just mainly helps maybe the retailers or something like that. 33. Which of the following is not a function of the retailer? Best answer, A, transporting goods to suitable storage facilities. Not a function of the retailer. Huh? That's more of the function of the wholesaler. They are the ones in charge of transportation, the wholesaler. Number 34. The variable of a marketing mix. The variables of a marketing mix can easily be remembered by referring to the 4 P's, which are, so the 4 P's of the marketing mix, you have product, price, place, and promotion. Those are the 4 P's. Product, price, place, promotion, the 4 P's. 35. A court order requiring an employer to deduct money from an employee for payment of his debt is known as, and of course the answer is D, garnish of the wages, or garnishment. 36. A post-dated check is one which, of course, post means after, or after, so D is dated for payment at a future date. So it says you're going to get paid after you would have received the check. Alright, so for dated for payment at a future date. Number 37. One of the major functions of central bank is to issue notes and coins. 38. The monthly payments collected by an insurance company on behalf of its policyholders are known as B, premium. You pay your premiums monthly. 39. Which of the following cannot be used as collateral for obtaining a loan from a financial institution? Which one cannot be used as collateral to obtain a loan from financial institutions? And of course, the best answer here is D, property not covered by insurance. Because if you don't have insurance and the property burns down, how the bank gonna get back their money? I don't know. So they have to make sure that they are in a position to get back their money, and so the property that you're putting up must be insured. Alright, so that's 39. 40. The most important use of collateral security to the lender is that it, and now this is from the lender's perspective. The lender's perspective, not the borrower, the lender, so the bank. And so the best answer is A, can be sold if the borrower fails to pay. So you have to get something that to hold on to, so that if the borrower fails to pay, then you use that as your payment. So that's A. 41. A country will restrict importation of certain items in order to, and so you have some options here. 1. Assist local industries. 2. Prevent similar items from being consumed by its citizens. 3. Encourage use of local resources. And 4. Alter the lifestyle of the citizens. So one of the reasons why you might restrict importation is 1, so that people can use local products. So that's A. So that's 1. And also 3, encourage use of local resources. So that's B. So it must contain 1 and 3. So this one doesn't contain 1, so that's out. This one doesn't contain 1, is out. This one contains 3, so it's out. So B, 1, and 3. Number 42. Governments can influence business activity positively by, and so the best answer here is A, reducing taxes. Now the fact that they say positively means that that's a good thing for, people involved in, consumers. And so reducing taxes means that the business would now have, more money to invest, and so they can produce more goods. The cost of production falls, so they can make goods cheaper. And in the same token, it also means that the consumers have more money in the pocket to buy things from the businesses. So there's a cycle right there. You buy more, they produce more, and the cycle continues. Number 43, which of the following measures are used by government to redistribute income? And so the best answer is pay as you earn and national insurance. 44, tax paid on wages and salaries is referred to as income tax. Your income tax is the tax that comes directly from your wages and your salaries. 45, which of the following forms of taxation could be classified as direct? And so like I said just now, it comes directly from the source. And so the answer here is B, income tax. Excise tax, custom duty, and purchase tax. Those are taxes that only comes into play after you would have chose to consume something. Number 46. Which of the following is included in protection of the environment? And so the answer here is D, deforestation laws. So deforestation laws would be laws that prevent you from cutting down the forest. So that would help to protect the environment. 47, which of the following can be considered an incentive to industries? And so, an incentive is something that is used to encourage certain behaviors, normally good behaviors, certain behaviors. And so incentive to industries would be something used to encourage the industries to behave in a certain way. And so the best answer here would be D, the devaluation of the local currency. What does this mean? This means that if you devalue the local currency, most people are going to refrain from going overseas and importing stuff. And so if you're not importing stuff, you're only left to use the local industry goods produced from a local industries. So that's an incentive for the local industries. 48, a country has a favorable balance of payment when A, it sells more than it buys. 49, which of the following practices would not contribute to the economic development and growth of a community? And so the best answer here is B, increase importation of consumer goods. Now, if you increase importation, that means that you are not really supporting locally made products, local industries, and so that would not really contribute to economic development and the growth of a community, because a lot of the resources are leaving, the money, the capital is flowing out of that community to go overseas to bring in imported stuff. 50, to correct an adverse balance of payment position, a government may B, increase exports. 51, which of the following are likely to affect the standard of living in a country? And so you have some options here: widespread pollution, a low literacy rate, a high crime rate, advertisement. Okay, so you know that widespread pollution would be 1, low literacy rate, a high crime rate. All these 3, 1, 2, and 3, which is C, would affect the standard of living. Advertisement, don't even know where to put that in. That was too obvious. 52, in national income accounting, students grants and retirement pensions are examples of, and so the best answer is B, transfer income. And so I don't think this question would really apply today because a lot of these economic stuff are no longer in the POB syllabus. But hey, is it only but goodies? So the best answer is B, transfer income. 53, which is the following indices is best measure of the economic growth of a country. And so again, real highfalutin econ. So the best answer is D, a change in GDP or gross domestic product. That's what shows the growth of a country. Whether it was negative growth or positive growth, you measure the GDP to show growth. If you want to show development now, you would use something like the the Human Development Index or something like that. Alright, 54. The balance of payment accounts comprises, and so we have some options: current account, total currency flow, gross national income, and official financing. And so the best answer is 1, 2, and 4. And again, econ 1, 2, and 4. 55. Which of the following are major economic problems facing Caribbean countries? And you have some options right here. And so you have high levels of unemployment, check. Adverse balance of payments, check. Low productivity in manufacturing, check. Lack of capital for investment, check. So D, all of the above. 56. Which of the following methods may governments use to reduce unemployment in the long run? And the best answer here is A, employment levy on firms. Again, we said that employment levy on firms are used to encourage firms to train and keep their employers up to date, so that would reduce unemployment in the long run. 57. The following policies are barriers to international trade except. And so the best answer here is B, subsidies. Subsidies are not a restriction on trade. Of course, you look at quotas. That's where you can only bring in X amount from overseas. You have embargoes. That means you cannot trade at all with certain countries like Cuba, America and Cuba. And then D, custom duties. Now, custom duties can be jacked up high as a deterrent for people to import stuff. So that's still a barrier to international trade, a non-tariff barrier to international trade. So the best answer is B, subsidies. That's where the government would give you financial assistance to help reduce your production costs. 58. The primary function of the Caribbean Basin Initiative is to give concessions on, and so the best answer here is B, traditional products entering the U.S. market. That's some kind of preferential treatment for countries in the Caribbean where the products are entering the United States. Then we have 59. Investment can be defined as B, additions to the capital stock of a country. So when you add capital stock to a country, I mean you would have invested. So you build roads, that's adding, that's investment for future. You build schools, that's adding to the stock, but that's investment into future education. You build hospitals, that's adding to the stock, but that's investment in the health product. Number 60, which of the following can be classified as benefit of nationalization, And so you have some options here. So we benefits of nationalization options: profit will remain in the country. That's true. 2, essential industries will be state-owned. That's true again. 3, employment will be provided for citizens. That is true. And 4, enterprise will have joint ownership. That's not exactly the whole thing. And so the best answer here is A, which is 1, 2, and 3. Alright, so that's the end of the May-June, way back when, 2008, Principles of Business, Paper 1. Alright, that's the end of that. I think that would be the last. That's as far back as I want to go for POB. So I don't think you'll see any more throwback papers for POB. 2008, that's some years ago. I don't know if everybody, I mean, y'all would have been babies by then, back then. So I'm not going to be going back any further as it relates to POB. 2008, that's far enough. That's over a decade ago. Alright, so you know what to do now. You like the video, subscribe, hit the bell so you know when any other video would have been dropped by Learn SKN. And that's it for now. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.